Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 151 of the regular season, where the Astros win 10-5 over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Back-to-back games scoring 10 runs for the Astros. Not too shabby. Not bad at all. You guys know how I like to do games like this, where there's a ton of offense, speed run through the offense, and just kind of hit the high points. So let's do that. Second inning, Kyle Tucker, 2-run home run to get the Astros on the board. First, Kyle Tucker, he is fantastic. He is an incredible batter. He is an incredible base runner. He is an incredible defender. He is a 5-tool player that the Astros kept, and I am so thankful that we kept this guy. He is just demolishing baseballs. Another 2-run shot for him tonight. 27th of the year. He is going to receive MVP votes this season. He is a top 20 player in this league, and I really think in the next 5 years he might just win an MVP. He's that good. He's just fantastic to watch. And then immediately after that, Aledmys Diaz homers. Back-to-back jacks to make it a 3-0 ball game. Now, bottom half of the second, they get one back. Jack Mayfield, old Super Jack, homers to make it a 3-1 ball game, because of course he does. A little bit later on, Jose Altuve with a 2-run shot to make it a 5-1 ball game. Aledmys Diaz in that same inning with a 2 RBI single to make it a 7-1 ball game. Next inning, Martín Maldonado hits his 12th of the year to make it a 8-1 game. A sac fly by Correa makes it 9-1, and a ground out, force out, fielder's choice thing by Kyle Tucker, where he's safe, makes it a 10-1 ball game. And at that point, you think the game is pretty much over. But in the bottom half of the sixth, the Angels, on a Phil Gosselin home run, make it 10-4. And then in the eighth, Shohei Otani makes it a 10-5 game. Not that that's particularly close, but when they got the 3 runs in the bottom of the sixth, and it's only a 6-run game, you're like, yeah, there's still a lot of innings left. This could potentially be something, but they don't really get anything going other than that, because there's some pretty darn good pitching by Christian Javier and Josh James. Speaking of pitching, let's talk about that for a moment. Jose Urquidy. I don't know what to say about the guy, because there's a part of me that, like, I think he's a very good pitcher, right? I really do. He has a crazy good strike percentage. He just pours in strikes, and he kind of has clunkers like this, where it's 5 1/3, gave up 4 runs, got 3 strikeouts, which isn't a really high number particularly, but didn't give up any walks. I'm not familiar with one, and if there is one, I would love to know, because I don't know of the statistic for it, other than just the pure eye test of watching each and every pitch, and you don't think of it always. Is there a statistic, and I want you guys to tell me below, that tells you how good a pitcher's control is, that can tell you more or less, like, a statistic that takes where the catcher sets up and where the ball is delivered to tell you how good it is? Is there something for control or command or anything? Because I'm really interested, because Jose Urquidy, it's just the gut feeling of, like, I think he has good control. Players just, he throws so many strikes, it's almost a bad thing where people can kind of gang up on him like they did tonight. I'm genuinely interested if there is one that I just have completely missed and I'm not thinking about. Christian Javier came in. He did pretty darn well. Went 2 2/3, excuse me. Only gave up 1 hit, and that was a Shohei Otani home run, which, I mean, if you're going to give up a home run, it kind of makes sense that it's Shohei Otani. Although it shouldn't, because he's a pitcher. Anyway, he did give up a pair of walks, but he also struck out 3 in his short little evening. He looked solid. Made Christian Javier a starter. We really need to get that going back again. Anyway, Josh James came in the 9th, and he was very solid. Give up a walk. Little bit of a weird at bat to start it, but he got a strikeout to end the game, and it was nasty. That was a pitch way out of the zone that the dude just completely chased at. And that's how the game ends, which was kind of a whimper for the Angels, all things considered. Offensively tonight, the Astros, 10 runs. Fantastic. What I think is weird is 10 runs were scored, yet they were 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position, which is kind of funny to see. Mostly just because of how many home runs there were. Altuve went 2 for 5. He had a home run, pair of RBIs, pair of runs scored. Great for him. Yuli, batting in the 2nd spot, had a pair of hits. Not too shabby, pair of runs scored. Alvarez had a hit. He also walked twice. Jordan is kind of becoming more disciplined, and if he can get that If Jordan can not just be a crazy good hitter with the bat in his hands and just rake and just smash baseballs and crush them, but can also become just a hair bit more disciplined. I'm not talking a 400 on base. I'm saying 360, 370. Like, if he can get to 365 on base with his power number staying pretty much the same, oh, you're talking about a crazy good hitter and probably a WRC plus in the 160s. It'd be awesome if he can just get a tiny bit more disciplined. Chas McCormick would eventually take over for Jordan. He had a pretty darn nice catch in left field. Correa had a hit, a walk, RBI. Kyle Tucker had a 3 RBI night. Not too shabby for him. Aledmus Diaz also had a 3 RBI night on a 2-hit or a 2-for-5 evening, so not too shabby there either. Martin Maldonado had a hit and a pair of walks, which is not something you're used to saying with Martin Maldonado. The home run, obviously, also scored a pair of runs. Not too shabby. And the Seattle Mariners have clutched up and won a second game against the Oakland Athletics, which means the magic number, with that combined with our win, is down to a small, measly 4. We are really closing in. Ideally, now with 2 games left, the Mariners could win maybe one more, and Oakland could win one of the last 2, and then that would pretty much... If the Mariners sweep the series, if they take the last 2, I believe that fully eliminates Oakland from winning the division, and they might be able to snag a wild card at that point, but it's really not looking good for them because Toronto is just otherworldly this season, specifically down this inning stretch. And if they split, I think there's then the tiny sliver that Oakland could potentially win, but we're going to play Oakland as soon as we're done with the Angels, so that would probably, unless they swept us, that would most likely kind of snuff out their hope. So ideally, both teams get one win to finish the series of those 2 games, and the Astros can keep on trucking and keep on winning against the Angels. Again, 2 pretty convincing wins, and then tomorrow tomorrow and the next day we have 2 really great pitchers going for us. Tomorrow evening, their pitchers, that's a great name. We're going to send Luis Garcia to the mound. He rolls in with a 3.37 ERA. They send in Jansen Junk to the mound. That is the greatest name. That is awesome. I would totally, if I were an Angels fan, buy a jersey that just said junk on it. That is awesome. Is there like a weird pronunciation, Angels fans, if any of you are, is there a weird pronunciation to that, or is that just junk? That is awesome. I'm guessing not. He rolls in with a 2.25 year. I'm sorry, I can't. That his name is Junk. That is so cool. I don't know why I think that's so freaking cool, but it's a really unusual name. Anyway, tomorrow's game again, 9:38 Eastern, 8:38 Central. The late nights are tons of fun. Anyway, I will be here after tomorrow evening's game, which will probably be tomorrow morning's game, which will probably actually be Friday morning, or no, Thursday morning. It's going to be late anyway. I'm tired now, as you can probably tell, and I already had a Red Bull, which I probably shouldn't have another one on account that it's about 1 a.m. Anyway, that is all I have to say for the evening. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic night. And as always, go Astros.